yards farther up. As expected, he was crouching shy of the Nova's right rear window, talking to the passenger in the back, his eyes on all three occupants. "03, this is 1023, I muttered into the radio, letting everyone, including Smith, know I'd arrived. I adjusted the video camera's lens to cover the whole scene, hit the record button, and got out of the car, being careful not to slam the door. I positioned myself between the guardrail and the cruiser, just shy of where the dazzling takedown lights blistered out ahead. All around us, the snow-smothered banks and trees and the wide, empty road shimmered in the phosphorescent blue and white flashes of the electronic strobes. Marshal Smith, his head wreathed in the vapor from his breath, backed away from the stopped car and came toward me, a driver's license in his gloved hand.
"Thanks for coming, Lieutenant. You're up late."
I kept my eyes on the dark outlines of three heads furtively conferring. "Catching up on paperwork. What have you got?" He stepped around me and opened his own passenger door, reaching in for the radio mic.
"Nothing too bad yet. I clocked them going 85, but they give me the creeps."
He paused and read the license to dispatch. "How so?" I asked.
"The rear passenger fits the profile to a T. Talks too much, lots of body language, nervous as hell. They're all pretty tense, and it's not because of the ticket. They're Asians,"
he added as an afterthought, although I knew that detail had been at the top of his list. Charlie's voice came over the radio.
"Dark blue Chevy Nova, 1990, registered to Dip, Edward."
He gave an address in Philadelphia that matched the one on the license in Smith's hand.
"Pennsylvania says it's valid."
Marshall frowned and lapsed from his usually strict radio protocol.
"Thanks, Charlie."
His eyes strayed uncertainly to the source of his concern. "You want them out of the car?" I prompted. He nodded and reached in for a clipboard.
"Yeah. Let's see if they'll play."
He returned to the car and tapped on the rear window to make them roll it back down. I could hear him reciting the particulars of a consent search, that the registrant was being asked to agree to a search of the vehicle of his own free will, and that he had the right to refuse such a request, either now or at any time during said search. I couldn't hear the response, but the front passenger door opened. It amazes me how many people go along with this procedure, knowing full well what they're carrying in a car. Dozens of successful busts for drugs, guns, illegal aliens, or alcohol have sprung from consent searches, all of which would have been impossible except for the intimidating power of the uniform, an influence defense attorneys invariably strive to drive home in court later. The cause of Smith's uneasiness became obvious as the first man unfolded from the passenger side of the car. In the arrhythmic strobe lights, his face, smooth, emotionless, almost pretty, lacked any show of humanity. His features, though clearly Asian, paled against an aura of pure menace. Maybe my shock was greater because of Marshall's description of the chatty, high-strung rear passenger. The thin, mocking smile of the man before me, his look of utter contempt, reminded me of a spoiled child coolly torturing a small pet. His eyes, seemingly unaffected by the lights, took me in as if I were the one on center stage, and he the observer from the shadows. Smith asked him with immaculate politeness if he'd mind being frisked for weapons. Without removing his eyes from mine, the man unbuttoned his overcoat and disdainfully lifted his arms to the sides in what was obviously a practiced gesture. Instinctively, I made sure I wasn't standing between him and the hidden camera behind me. Smith checked him quickly but thoroughly and sent him back to stand with me. "How are you tonight?" I asked without introduction or apology. The smile widened slightly, and he nodded silently. "What's your name?"
"Trung Van Lok."
The voice was soft and smooth, like the face, and equally devoid of feeling. "You have any identification, Mr. Lok?" I expected the usual fumbling for a wallet, but this man knew he was under no such obligation.